Hi everybody, welcome to Paul Programs, your spot for learning more about game design and game mechanics. Today, we're going to be talking about Metaverse, or Metaverses, or Metaversi. If you're interested in learning more about game design, game mechanics, and more, let me know in the comments below what topics you'd like to see covered. Also, if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for when new videos drop. With that said, let's get started. Today we're talking about Metaverse, and we're not talking about one singular specific concept of Metaverse. We're going to take a look at what really is a Metaverse, what can be a Metaverse, and who some of the players are who are trying to make Metaverses purposely or are accidentally making Metaverses that you may not even realize is a Metaverse. So with that, let's jump in first with taking a look at the definition of what's a Metaverse. Let's begin with taking a look at what is a Metaverse. And here we have some help from Merriam Dictionary. And what it calls a Metaverse is a persistent virtual environment that allows access to and interoperability, whoa, words are hard, of multiple individual virtual realities. In essence, it's saying that each of these different virtual environments should have a way of connecting together, working together, basically having access to multiple different ways of interacting and being involved with other people. And that kind of leads us to what is virtual reality then? And a virtual reality is an artificial environment experienced through stimuli. Basically, you see it, you hear it, you're involved with it, and it's basically handled by a computer. And that can be games, virtual reality, apps, things like that. These are virtual worlds or environments that we're interacting with, from things like Facebook to Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, different applications, MMOs. They're different environments, but they have the user interacting with them with basically sight, sound, other ways. And combine this with the idea of a metaverse, which is they're interconnected. It's taking all these different places and technologies and digital worlds and combining them under one kind of easy access across the board, basically. So with that, that covers the definition of a metaverse and taking a look at a virtual reality and how that kind of works together with that concept of a metaverse. But not in the sense of VR as in wearing a headset. It's more of thinking of virtual reality as an actual digital virtual world or environment. All right. So that covers our look at what's a metaverse and what's a virtual reality and kind of like how it all kind of comes together and interfaces. But with that said, we need to understand who's actually the players or who's involved in trying to make a metaverse right now, both purposely and kind of by accident. So with that, let's jump in and take a look at some companies that are developing metaverses now. Okay, so the first group we're actually going to take a look at is Meta, because they're blatantly making the biggest push to create a metaverse. And I think they're pursuing more of the idea of the metaverse, where they have all these applications and they want you to interact with them, be involved in their specific ecosystem. And this involves Facebook, which is your social network, Messenger, your way of communicating with people, Instagram for sharing those moments, pictures, videos with others, WhatsApp for another way of chatting, the Quest for actually bringing people into a virtual world, and Horizon Worlds, which builds on that concept. And then they have their Portal, which is a way of communicating with friends and family through video. They have all these different apps, and it seems their goal is to merge these all together to create a singular virtual experience where you're tied together and you're in their specific ecosystem or their metaverse. And some would say there are a lot of problems with this. The idea of there being just a singular metaverse and kind of keeping everyone else out who may be involved with other ones may not be the best way to create that interconnected feel that people really are looking for. People want to be able to kind of interact with each other across all different platforms, not just one created by a singular group that's tied to all their specific applications. Now we're going to actually talk about something that you may not even have thought is a metaverse of a sort, and that's Pokemon. Pokemon has, for the last few years, been making a big push to allow their players to interact with all their different applications and their Pokemon in different ways. And a lot of this starts with Pokemon Home. It's their application for players to store their Pokemon, take their Pokemon to different games and applications, take them from different games and applications. Basically, it's their central hub for dealing with their specific Pokemon. Then there's Pokemon Go, which is an AR experience that has players going out in the world exploring, interacting with Pokemon, being involved with the real world, and kind of meeting up with friends to take part in raids or catching Pokemon that are actually out there, and then being able to send those Pokemon to Pokemon Home or to the Switch games through Let's Go. That leads us to the next bit, the games. Pokemon has been releasing games for a long time, and with the Switch games combined with Pokemon Home, you're able to take Pokemon from different places and basically bring them into Pokemon Home so you can send them to other games. Bring them from all the way from the DS games onward to the Switch games that they're compatible with. It's that idea that you have an ecosystem that you're constantly growing, you're involved with, and it's not just one place that you're involved with it. But that also involves the trading card game. It's a way for players to buy physical cards, but then some of the cards come with codes. These codes unlock things in the online game, and this brings both the real world together with the digital world. And then there's all the different applications that they have, from Pokemon Unite all the way to Pokemon Masters, that allow players to basically play Pokemon in different ways. And it's all usually tied together with the ability to connect it with your Pokemon login, which is a login that you can use for all the applications and connect all these different apps together and tie into a single ecosystem. And while there isn't a singular hub for everything, the login is definitely the starting point for them to build out that kind of hub. Pokemon Hub's Home is another place for that. The last other example that isn't really a true, what would be called a quote unquote true metaverse, are gaming. There's lots of gaming companies, from PlayStation, Microsoft with Xbox, Nintendo, Epic, Steam, even Battle.net. They're allowing you to use a login for one of the others, usually in games, to basically create that singular ecosystem. And what that allows is things like crossplay, where you can play games together with people who may not be on the same system or machine, device, or location as you. Another is cross save, being able to take the saves from your games and bring them over to the same game that may be on a different platform, or maybe a cloud version or something like that. And then the idea of being able to just purchase like certain things that you can carry over because you're using the same account across all these different platforms and games. Gaming consoles seem to also take leverage of applications. There's apps that if you log in with a specific login, or you connect all these different logins, you'll be able to access certain things across, so you can bring in different profiles from your game, so you're able to communicate with your clan members in certain games like Destiny or Fortnite or even Overwatch. It's the idea that it's an singular interconnected experience using one profile that allows you to have one shared experience, and that creates a singular ecosystem that emulates a metaverse. It's this idea of taking part in a virtual reality where you're competing or you're playing with or you're communicating with your friends, family, and other. So gaming is actually kind of close to having their own metaverse as well. And, all right, after taking a look at some kind of concepts of who's making a type of metaverse now, um, really my thoughts on the whole thing, and that's is that we don't really have a singular metaverse, and I don't think we should have a singular metaverse. I think there needs to be different ecosystems, which are these metaverses. And obviously, hopefully, there'll be some kind of way of taking logins from these different places to cross over to the other ones, but we shouldn't be chasing this singular, the metaverse. We should be chasing like a metaverse here and a metaverse there, but there's ways to integrate them together, communicate with each other, kind of build that community. Like, look at Discord. Discord is actually working with both PlayStation and Xbox to bring communication and community from Discord or those specific communities together so you can play games together. That means things like crossplay and communication now become easier because these worlds have been merged together, these different virtual realities in essence. And that's really what we should be pursuing. As developers, we should be finding ways to build out interesting ways to plug in and leverage these different ecosystems and bring them together and bring them to different devices, from cell phones to VR headsets to AR headsets. But it shouldn't be locked to one or focus only on one or needs to be in a specific way, like virtual reality only is the metaverse. No, metaverse is going to be something wide spanning. It's not going to be relying on just a singular thing. And I think that's the most exciting part about what a metaverse could be. If you have any thoughts or opinions of what you'd like to see from a metaverse, let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you all next time.